clerk, there's a guy digging out there, we have a leak by one of the fire hydrants
Where
No.
is he digging?
on D.
Oh, no, he's just clean hydrants.
Okay.
I was like,
Oh, that's Joe.
It's Joe.
Yeah, he's in the
Well,
tractor.
a big,
Yeah, he's in the tractor.
back,
yeah, he's moving smoke from hydrants.
Oh, good.
So fire hydrant gets on.
that's good news.
And he's gonna make you copies of the financials.
Okay.
I'll take them and you can make the copies. Thank you.
Meeting's going.
It's ready?
It's ready.
Okay. All right, I'm going to call the utility committee to order on January 15th. It is 10:16 a.m. Can I get a, roll call?
Capel here.
Loker here.
Stoyle here.
All right, our first discussion action will be election of officials. We need to nominate a chair and a vice chair.
If nobody wants it, I'll be chair, I'll take the chair for a couple months to get you through, at least till the end of April.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we need a vice chair. Any volunteers?
Question, what does
Yes.
vice chair do?
Stand in for me if I'm not here, but since we couldn't have a meeting,
Yeah.
it's,
Either or.
as we progress through the morning, it may have more meaning, but they would stand in for the chair.
If you want, I will, or you can, whatever.
Take it.
Makes
Right.
no difference.
I'll nominate Dave Loker.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It's done.
All right, Bill,
All right.
you're in charge.
Item number 4, pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go Pack, go.
Item number 5, I'm gonna ask Robbie to certify the posting of the meeting.
Yes, I sent an email to the town support on January 11th at 2:15 p.m. I emailed Rapids Tribune on January 11th, 2024 at 2:17 p.m. I posted at the town hall on January 11th, 2024 at 3 p.m. I posted at Quick Trip January 11th, 2024 at 3:03 p.m. And I posted to Nakusa Port Edward State Bank on January 11th, 2024 at 2:52 p.m.
All right. Item number 6 is approve the agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion is approved. Item number 7 is citizen comments. Do we have any cards? Then we'll skip number 7. Go to number 8, information updates, meeting recaps, recent correspondence, and current events. I'll start with Dan. Do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Dave?
I cannot think of anything.
And I don't have anything. Going on to discussion and possible action on the following items. Discussion and action. Approve the September 18, 2023 meeting minutes, October 2nd, 2023 meeting minutes.
One question, why didn't we approve the September minutes in October?
Because we just did a budget meeting in October. There was not an
Yeah,
actual.
we didn't have a
Okay.
regular
The turnaround
business
time was
Uh,
not there. from
There,
the-
okay, and I was just kinda like, anyway.
Okay. Another quick question, maybe to bail me out of trouble. It says the December 4th meeting, and we don't have any minutes from the December 4th meeting.
Where do you see December 4th meeting?
I
No.
That's in the bottom of October 2nd meeting.
Oh, I must have messed that up.
There wasn't, we didn't have a December meeting.
No.
But I'm saying
Oh.
I don't see anything in here that mentioned today, I'm saying. I'm trying to get, make
Okay,
myself
so
not as much.
the
Oh,
next
I see,
meeting
yep.
date was supposed to be December fourth
That,
when we
that
did
was
these
the
minutes.
proposed meeting date,
But then
but it
we
was canceled.
rescheduled it to
Oh,
today.
okay, via
That's why,
emails.
yes.
Okay.
Right,
Yep.
so the
Sorry.
minutes are correct.
Yes,
It's really today's meeting.
good.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, no issues with the 2 meeting minutes. I have none.
Would anyone make a motion?
I make a motion to accept.
I'll-
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Discussion only. Review the September, October, November, and December 2023 water utility financials.
So the December financials are, unaudited, so we do meet with our auditors, first week in February, where we will be finalizing all the numbers on those. We did come under budget, our total budget, expenses were at 81% for the year, and we were 101% in revenue for the year.
You're talking year end.
Yep,
Does the carryover stay on the operating side, or can it be does it go into the capital?
it stays on the operating side.
Okay. So you have an operating reserve then?
Yes, we do, correct.
Okay. Any other questions or
Yes.
comments?
I'm looking at the year end, the December. The public fire protection. I would gather that'd be kind of static, but
It is not, so it depends on who's paying.
it's all relative, okay.
Yep.
So, it should be static,
Should
but
be.
so in arrears is basically what you're saying. Okay,
Yes.
very good. That's what I thought maybe.
That is correct.
Robbie?
Yes, Dan?
These are, it's not, there's no accruals in this. This is just a cash flow accounting.
Correct,
So if it's due, it doesn't show up that it's in here.
correct.
Okay,
Because all of our accruals, we will balance out at the end of the year.
right.
But it'll show up, it shows up in her operating report,
Yes,
where she talked about how many are due for collection.
Correct. But these
It won't show up
financials-
on a balance sheet,
No, this is just a cash flow statement.
right?
In the personnel wages, the 40,000 difference, is that from,
Chad's,
retirement
Yep.
and the different, okay,
correct.
all right, just verification.
Any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll just move that we accept them and place them on file.
I second that motion.
I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
You got
It's
it.
actually only
Yeah,
discussion.
we'll just put them
over-
on file.
Yeah, it's just a discussion.
Item number 11, the water utility update.
All right, so in the packet, I gave out an overview of September, October, November, and December of everything that we had done. Do you have any questions? I don't wanna read through everything and,
No, that's okay.
um,
I didn't.
When you get a chance, can you give me the percentages of delinquency on the accounts?
absolutely.
It's not necessary today, just, and then if you're doing that, throw percentage in there, cause it just gives us a better idea where, how many people paid, how many didn't.
There were several mentions of the, HayGov, the workhorse thing. Can you just give a little?
So the HAGA Workhorse is the ability to add another application to our current, financial financial system,
Oh, okay.
which would allow us to take credit card payments, in the office, rather than having to use the state website.
Okay.
I haven't decided if I'm gonna go forward with that yet. I haven't figured out if it's beneficial for us to do it yet,
Okay.
so.
All right, that was,
Is there any significant costs one way or the other?
The charge to go through the state is 40 cents cheaper than to go through HayGov right now. So I'm trying to do a 6-month study to see how many we have come through and to see if it's gonna it'd be beneficial for them.
Yeah.
I mean, cause right now, the people that are using the state site are very upset, cause it's a huge fee, but everybody's charging fees nowadays, so it's the convenience.
What about your effort? Is one easier for you?
No,
Okay.
same, it's the same, yeah.
okay, so they charge, not the utility fee,
They charge the customer, yeah. Well, we have a fee on top, we have to pay a service fee per year for it,
If they're gonna use the charge card.
if they're gonna use the charge
So
card.
they're getting double
Yeah.
whammy.
Correct. So it's working out the benefits for it.
It's, more importantly, it's your efforts.
Right, what I'm doing is trying to sell our auto pay and our, through the direct pays, and I'm getting a lot of those which sign on to that now,
Okay.
so,
Well,
We'll see
again,
how it goes.
whatever's easier for the office staff.
correct. Yep,
Cause if I go to a restaurant, they charge me 3% to use the credit card, so everybody's accepting
Everybody's
that.
a-
But again, it's to make your job easier.
yep.
Rome Water Utility completed their fire inspections,
Yes.
with no issues.
Correct.
What are fire
So they come out and I'll let you,
So, one of the fire staff will come out and they will make sure our fire extinguishers are all up to date, that they're all in the
that's
green.
all? Oh, okay.
Exits aren't blocked.
Correct.
Our lights
Exit
are-
signs,
Lights are
emergency
working.
signs work.
Yep.
Make sure there isn't anything flammable near anything that shouldn't be,
Very much like any business would get.
yes.
Oh, it is a business fire inspection, that's what it is.
Okay.
We
It's the
follow
same
it, so-
inspection that they get.
But then I
everybody
kind of
else.
like, I'm like, okay, does this involve hydrant? No.
no,
So being the water utility, I'm
Right.
scratching my head, so. Okay. And secondly, under that, the staff cam in on November, no heat, what's the staff cam or,
oh, staff came in,
oh, came in.
It's a,
I'm thinking, oh, they got a camera.
it's a spelling issue.
no, we came in at no heat that day,
Yes,
Okay,
for a couple,
the entire building, huh?
yes.
yes.
The office building, yeah. And one of the, notes is that we did have our sanitary survey that was done in June by the DNR. There were 5 issues that had to be completed by December 31st. We had 4 that had to be done by September 30th, and 1 by December 31st. We have met all of those successfully, so everything is good with the DNR until our next inspection in 3 years.
Anything significant on those?
No, no.
You know,
There
it
was,
could be major, it could be.
there was a sticker that wasn't on a tub,
Yes.
so we had to get a sticker. The one larger issue that was due December 31st was our private well, documentation with the prior director was not done properly, so we had to create all of that and get all the information and get it set up properly.
In the order of
And
the
we
law.
did successfully get that done.
Crossing the i's and dotting the t's.
T's,
Correct.
exactly.
This is in November, so, but just, winter projects such as maintenance, injector work, blah, blah, blah. An update, how's that at? Winter projects in a nutshell?
We are
Right now,
muddling through them.
yeah, right now we're dealing with the cold right now and the snow and whatnot, so I mean, a lot of those kinds of projects, your maintenance projects, you put on the back burner, obviously, but that's more filler work, we do that kind of stuff, nothing that has to be done today
Right,
on a
right.
schedule.
I get it, and then I
Um,
just wonder how, and this is the kind of week you wanna do that.
Correct. No, I mean, that stuff's, we're working through all that stuff, I mean, it's, typically, we're not going to just sink money into replacing injectors if they don't need to be replaced, because they
It's
are
more
expensive.
inspection work, minor
Inspecting,
maintenance.
yes, so you can see through them. If you see they're not actuating properly, take them apart, either you can clean them or replace them.
Okay. And shed a little light on the, cleared a lot on Cadbury for spring repair.
Cadbury. Oh, yes, we have a repair coming up, for
Service repair?
a service
Service repair.
repair, yes. And,
And you have to go in and clean, or is it in the right of way?
it was in the right of way.
Okay.
So there's so your curb stop's gonna be in the right of way. Well, where it actually goes onto the person's property, there was a tree growing. I mean,
Okay.
it's an old service, it's one of the original services coming in. So there were 2 trees in between it, so we took the trees out.
Okay.
So come
I-
spring, when they actually we dig the ground.
That
up,
was
it's-
just verification, like,
Yeah.
okay. Clearing on somebody's lot, you know,
Yes.
okay. And then Robbie, the Bar and Fiend Business Technologies thing,
So,
you lighting on somebody or like somebody or?
no, Barnfied is they were our network support. And they have chosen to no longer do it because they cannot get enough staff
In the area?
in the area. And we're such a small customer, we're not beneficial to them. So we are going to, I'm talking with Jason, and we are going to move our networking to the town server. And so that will be supported under,
Under the
Town.
town's
Yep.
server, so.
Correct.
And I might ask a dumb question, why weren't we on the town server before?
we'll just say politics.
Okay. Okay.
Is there are no capacity issues? Okay.
We bring one server and 2 laptops.
Oh, okay.
There's
Just-
not much.
Okay.
Is that done already?
No, not yet. It should be. I'm
Oh,
hoping to
July
have-
1st,
Yeah,
done.
I'm hoping-
So
I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this month.
that affects the SCADA system and everything, right? Or not?
No,
There is a different signal for that?
Yep.
Is that coming under the Wi-Fi?
it is,
Okay.
correct.
But it's a direct line? Okay.
Okay, so you're looking at switching over in a month or two?
Probably in a month or 2, yeah.
Okay, is there a refund from?
No, because we are paying monthly right now.
Oh, so you just stopped paying?
It was, we had a contract with Bauer.
Oh, so you have
Now
to
we're
pay
just
through
paying
the
it monthly,
contract
correct.
or no refund
So,
or?
right, so we're paying monthly, so the contract ended December 31st. We are now paying monthly for our services until I switch over.
Okay.
But I have until July 1st to.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, they
So
end me completely.
I'm going, we don't have to pay till July 1st even if
No,
we switch
we
over?
do not.
Got it,
It's just on a monthly basis.
got it.
Any other questions?
Maybe I forgot, I missed, selling, the lot, or, took down 12 trees at, well number 2. Yeah, that's 2 different things, but
Yep.
anyways, so that was just
Those were dead oak trees.
for
that
the
were
town thing, kinda?
That was a
Yeah.
maintenance cleanup for
Fire-wise?
us.
Kinda. It was, one of those things, maintenance, we had time to get the stuff down, so we took it down. It's the
Yeah.
perfect time to do, so we don't get oak wilt spread, so we dropped them.
Okay, and I think the other thing I'll ask is later on, so.
Ken, anything?
No?
All right, we'll accept it and put it in a file.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
There is one more thing I wanted to alert you guys to. We received a letter and AG Source contacted us that some samples that we had done in July, I believe it was, were read wrong by
Oh, yeah.
their technician at AG Source. So we had to redo our testing and we successfully did it correctly, but it got all cleared up. It wasn't something that was done wrong by us,
No.
it was done wrong by their technician and who's no longer there with them.
Okay, what did the technician say, we failed, or?
I'm not sure what it
It
was.
came through, everything passed, but from
A little
what
The
I
way
higher
he
or
understand,
tested it wasn't correct.
wasn't to their standard or
Yeah.
something like
Okay.
that, so.
It did not meet the NR 809's compliant requirement for metal analysis.
So we had to go to these places, some of them were at
One was a
residential
copper,
addresses.
yeah.
Where we had to have them take a sample.
Oh, okay. Did you take the sample or they had to take it?
We
We
took
took
it, they
Data
processed it.
residents, yes.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Anything else?
No, okay.
All right, we'll move on to item number 12, under discussion only. Rome Water Utility 5-year strategic plan.
So that plan was drafted while Chad was still here. And that just gives a breakdown of what we were looking to accomplish over the next 5 years. From water maintenance, mains, it's all based on the timing of the loans being paid off, when we will have more money available. Questions?
I didn't notice any main replacement in the program at all. Is there any?
Should be, well, there is a plan to start, where we know we are gonna start. It should be.
Is it based on availability of capital, or?
Correct. And then it's, Woodbridge?
Woodbridge, Manchester, and the Little Fingers mill off the
Those are the
sides.
concrete ones that need
Correct.
replacement.
All of
And they're
our,
underwater,
yeah, we have a
high water table over there.
So our groundwater, when we dig those to put service in, we're usually fighting groundwater. So,
Were you in a finger somewhere, you said?
yeah, the fingers that come off of Woodbridge and Manchester.
Chester.
So like Milford,
Okay.
Marlboro, Woodbridge
I
Court.
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's the southeast corner of Camelot,
Yep.
down there.
So they would be in addition to this capital program, or
I'm
They're
not
not
sure.
the water main replacement, or they're,
It should be on there. It's not there?
And there's
I-
reference to a lot of,
I was looking. I
hydrant
didn't-
valves and that, rebuild and filter and replace media, that's not it.
There's
replace
no,
No, Russ,
Yeah.
there's no main replacement in this program. That's
I will
why I'm
make sure we
asking the
can
question.
update that then.
And that should be there if you have a plan to do it. Well rehab, driveway replacement, flushing, van replacement. But I thought I went through it pretty thoroughly and I didn't see any.
I will make sure I update that and send that back to
So,
you.
it's gotta be, there's gotta be something somewhere.
Yep.
Another little circle.
Next year, they add an isolation valve and hydrant, where's that at?
Which one is that one? Isolation valve, you guys know about the tower.
Yep.
So that is, we have, to come off the tower, there's a leg that comes off the tower, comes out of our building, hits the main, and then one main goes back up to the tower. There needs to be a valve between the hydrant and the tower. That is a new
DNR.
Oh,
Regulate-
new regulation.
Yep.
We have them after, in both directions, we need one in between.
In 26, replace roofing all buildings? And that's just because they're all bad, or just gonna do it all at once, or?
It's the timing.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was.
Economy of
it was all the
scales as well.
timing. And you wanted to do all at the same time because it would be more cost effective.
Just all on the site, then, that's like
Yes,
sort of 3 buildings?
yeah, like
including under the
two
tower?
buildings and a shed, basically.
Yes. Yep.
Are any of them real bad right now?
3 is getting kinda rough.
Okay.
Building 3 is kinda rough. It's not leaking, it's, there's still asphalt on the shingles, but it is the roughest of the,
Okay,
Three of 'em.
and it'll last until you,
oh yes, I think so.
Yeah.
that's good.
And if nothing else, we can get a bucket of tar and we can limp it along.
Okay.
In 27, and 28, and, no, I guess that's it. But replace flushing hydrants, I see, there's 32 of them, and you sort of have them on a
Rotate.
5-year
yeah,
cycle?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So he was going to replace them in a certain pattern.
Yes.
How long do they last?
If you don't use them, they last forever. The problem you run into is that, you get build up on them. Some of them don't have, it's hard to get parts for some of the older ones now. They don't actuate very well anymore. We've actually had a couple that we broke, trying to adjust them, and, so just replace the guts on them. But some of them are at the older end of the spectrum, so they have a little wear in them. You also have the issue of some of them where they're located, that people may periodically back into them, or, you know, they get bent a little bit, or that kind of stuff. So, they still function, but
So what's the average life of a fire hydrant to a flushing hydrant
they'd be
comparison?
the same. It's the same, I mean, it's the same type of build. Flushing hydrants are obviously a little smaller.
I'm just trying to remember my Ripon days, I thought our hydrants were more like 7-8 years cycle.
Oh, no, the last
Oh, more,
No,
more than
20.
that.
I'd be
Say
more like
30
20.
30 years, yeah.
Yeah,
For fire hydrant placement.
All of them.
all of them.
It's all those
Why
same
are we-
components.
It sounds like we're replacing these flushings more than fire hydrants.
No,
No,
they're,
we haven't replaced any flushing
oh.
hydrants since we went in
Well,
place.
that's true, that's better, okay.
And the
Yeah.
fire hydrants are a lot newer, aren't they? They weren't original.
some of them.
Some.
Like if you go down your
I'll be right back.
main roads, Eighth,
Yeah,
Apache,
Coffee.
that kind of stuff, those are newer.
yeah.
But those aren't the ones we're going after. It's the ones that are inside the subdivisions and stuff that are way older.
Okay. Well, you gotta be proactive.
Yes. Emergencies cost way more money.
We'll have a momentary pause.
Robbie, when you're gonna update to show the mains, you're gonna reset the whole, send out the whole package?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
You bet.
When's the last time your office was painted?
When we had a flood
Yes.
3 years ago.
Okay, so it's within the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think of things that might have escaped, but it looks good. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, geez, I almost said Chad, Cody.
That's it, I'm out.
Rebuild filter, replace media, in a nutshell, that's,
So what'll happen is we'll shut the filter down, we'll fill the tower, shut the filter down, and it'll be typically down during a slower period of the year.
Yes.
So we're not using a lot of
Right.
water. So what we'll do is we will shut the filter down, isolate it, and all the media inside the filter will get pulled out and replaced with new media.
and the media is typically sand stuff, no?
Yeah, so
Mixture.
there's larger stone or gravel in the bottom, and then there's anthracite, and different varying sizes
Levels.
going up to,
Okay.
up to the anthracite at the top, and, yeah, that'll all get vacuumed out
So
and
it's,
replaced.
I saw the rebuild filter, and it's really just more redoing the media?
All the guts inside the filter,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, it all comes up?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I remember Chad did something with the piping quite a few years ago. You know, that, you're gonna inspect all of that and,
Yeah, when it's all
Oh,
down,
yeah.
it gets
The whole
inspected.
thing will, yep.
Yep. That'd be down for 2 days, 3 days maybe.
Is that a hazardous waste for disposal
You know, I'm
because of
not
the
sure.
chemicals?
It might be,
It might be.
yeah.
I'm just curious. I
Sounds
would
kinda
think
silly,
that
but
it's
yeah.
gotta be handled specially. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does somebody, you have a company that we contract for and
Yes.
comes in and does it? Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Then they know what they're doing.
They'll take care of it all for us.
Yeah.
I know I saw it somewhere. On something, selling a lot to buy a van or something like that?
To buy a van?
No,
There were two
oh,
different
the
things.
building, workshop,
There was two different things, yeah.
yep. But there, okay, so either I don't remember or I didn't hear,
So
there's
there
some
w-
building on a lot, a shed or something.
So there, where well two is, which is off of Somerset,
I'm not- Okay, Somerset.
that is where our workshop is. We house the vehicles there, we have land there. We were looking to sell that lot and then move the workshop
Bring everything
to-
on site.
On site,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
That's-
And that they believe they could sell that property building for building the workshop, a wash,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
not a backwash, a wash.
We can literally pick up our buildings over there and probably move them to the site. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
that's
it's-
possible to
yeah,
do that?
That's a
Okay.
possibility too. So, there's options there that we have to explore.
And and this just observation back from my Ripon days and that. You guys, Rome doesn't, and maybe it's because Rhodes doesn't have frozen main issues very often, or is that?
People today, don't bring up frozen mains. Shh.
Ripon, it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
There was
We-
always in certain
So-
spots and you couldn't, they actually on a main road that's highway, they ended up, big beadboard insulations over and stuff.
So, a lot of that has to come, it comes down to what the mains were laid in. The mains were laid in sand, everything around here is sand, as far as you can dig. So they were laid in sand, so sand doesn't move and shift with the earth like clay or slate or anything like that's going to. The other thing is that we don't have mains that are under roads. We have crossings, but we do not have mains that run down roads. So you don't have trucks or equipment pounding on them.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor. And they're deep. I mean, they're 8 foot, 7, 8 foot down.
And I gathered from ours was different than due to constructions and.
Correct.
so
Correct. And it's also
You can
material.
install it, but it doesn't mean it's gonna remain at that depth.
Yeah, so a lot of it too is also material.
Right.
A lot of places where I came from, they practice they'll put ductile in or plastic C900 in, and they'll bury it in stone. Now, the problem with that is once dirt's pushing on it and pushing that stone into it,
Pipe.
you create a pipe, you create a hole eventually over time. That's where a lot of your main breaks are. And a lot of your main breaks are a hole this big, but it's coming out as fast as it can come out. So, we don't have stone.
Yep.
It's all sand on top of it,
And the-
underneath it. Should never have any issue like that.
So that's not a big issue.
No,
And that's why, because of the sand territory. Yep,
correct.
makes sense.
Anything else? I don't think we need a motion, since this was just for discussion, so. We'll move on to item 13, discussion and possible action. Discuss the 2025 capital addition to replace solar panels at gateway locations and next steps.
So during our budget process, you guys recommended and the board approved as one of our capital additions was to replace the solar panels that we have on our gateway locations and move them to
Right.
electrical because we weren't getting proper readings and they were going down and all that.
That's the item here, right?
Yes. So then we've done some research,
Yes.
and it would be more beneficial for us to go cellular rather than electrical. The electrical cost was
I don't remember.
almost $10,000.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
After meeting with Badger Meter, the new technology is everybody is going cellular.
Yes.
Cellular meaning battery packs per
Yes.
se?
Yes.
More reliable, more consistent. We do have the ability to sell our current gateways,
Yes.
to recoup some of the costs back. There are smaller municipalities than us that are looking for these gateways.
Yes.
And so they would help us with reselling that information, and we would like to have the opportunity to bring a number to you guys of what it would cost, for us to replace these gateways.
Sure.
Okay,
I think you should do that.
All right.
Yep, go forward.
What's gonna keep the cell?
So it's the same, it looks the same, it's just an antenna replacement on your meter.
yep,
So
Yeah.
your meters were just replaced 3 years ago?
Yes.
Roughly? So it is, the gateways send a signal back to the utility,
Yes.
okay? If we remove that, it sends out like a cell phone signal that comes back to the utility, and you won't need the gateways anymore.
Yeah,
That technology is being outdated, they're gonna stop selling it shortly. I mean, we could continue to use it, but we're gonna be constantly monkeying with trying to keep it up and running, okay? There is, what was the question? I got sidetracked.
okay, no, the question is, right now, we've got solar panels that don't
Yes.
power the gateways.
Correct,
We're gonna do away with that,
yes,
then we're gonna put cell phone type technology in.
correct.
Well, yeah, the original
keeps
plan
them
was to run an
powered-
electrical drop.
powered
and
up.
Power them, but now
Keep it.
we're gonna do
So
cellular.
what keeps the cell phone communication? Cellular going?
So it runs on the cell network, on a cellular network, but
Mhm.
as far as, you're talking about in the person's home, how's it keeping it going?
Oh, no, okay, so,
Is it a battery operated?
It is, but it's only used when you request it to be used. So if you, we have the ability with the cellular to have real-time read with it. So if I wanted to look up your house and be like, do you have a leak right now?
You can ping it.
I
per
can
se.
look it up, okay, and it's real time. With the gateways, it's delayed. It may be a couple hours, it could
couple
be
hours,
days.
okay,
Um,
the gateway is something out on a pole someplace.
Correct.
How does it talk to my meter?
It'll wake it up when it needs to. If it wants to make a reading,
Okay,
It'll
but
wake it
how's
up.
the information get from my meter to the gateway now?
it turns on. So the gateway is gonna ping your meter, and it sends a signal back to the gateway, and then that gets sent to
And
the
gateway
utility.
sends back. to
So
the-
my
Yes.
meter's got something on
Yes,
Yes.
that sends radio waves somewhere.
Remote reading, yeah.
yep,
correct.
Okay,
And the cellular is, it looks like the same thing. We do have some cellular units in place right now,
yeah.
because we
because
had
we
some
couldn't
hard to
get
read.
readings from these
Yeah, we had hard to read
residents.
stuff for certain things, and
Yeah.
So we've
now
been
it's,
using it.
you can get everything.
Okay,
Sometimes it was interference because the tower wasn't, there was obstructions in the way or whatever. Now it picks up absolutely everything.
Is
Even
that
like
gonna run up
multi-cran-
the
And what you're saying is the industry is going in that
cellular
direction.
network?
Yes, that is
It runs on whatever our network is here, Verizon, or
Mhm.
whatever it is. It doesn't actually send us, we don't have any additional equipment at the office for it. We have the
Okay.
technology to run it from the office now.
Right.
Okay, but do we
Um,
get any cell charges from Verizon?
No,
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 Oh,
this is
okay.
all through Badger.
yeah,
This
This
is their,
is-
that's
Oh,
the,
it's all through the meter
it's the
company.
meter
Yes.
companies, it's their software,
Yes.
it all runs, we have to purchase the cellular unit to make it run, but that's the
Yes.
extent of our cost.
Okay, how much are the cellular units?
That's what they're gonna come back
That's
with.
what I'm
That's
back
what
with,
coming back.
yeah.
So the cellular units needs some power support, correct?
it's the same battery support that the original antennas used in the meters
Original
originally.
solar antennas?
Yep,
Yeah, no,
No.
not solar.
an antenna.
It's the antenna that's on top of the meter, so you have your meter, and you have an antenna on the meter. The gateways are what would send from
The
there to
gateways
there.
I'm talking about, that's still, doesn't that need some kind of power for,
Yeah, that's what the solar
Okay.
set up on the gateways, which is the problem we're having with those.
right,
We're gonna do away with the gateways,
Correct.
right.
none of that.
It's all
So
gone then.
just goes to some cells, the tower.
It
Okay.
It
so
pings
it's
up there and
like
comes back
Getting
down.
rid of the middleman.
Yes.
Correct,
Right.
correct.
Okay.
We would have to we couldn't do all of this in one sitting.
I'm seeing
This is
those.
gonna have to be broken up a little bit.
Divisions, yep.
But we wanna hit our problem areas first, which are our 10th Street and our 8th Street towers, or our gateways. So those are the first two that we wanna go after and get them replaced, so all the meters that run off those two will be all cellular. And so on and so forth, start deleting them as we go and pulling them and putting cellular in the other units around the town.
Okay, and the benefit that we have is you get on a daily thing is to find leaks someplace, somebody's leaking or something.
We
We're
do
not
have
gonna
that,
lose
I mean, we will not lose that, but we will have on time. So
Yes.
you will, we
Yes.
will know if there's a leak in your house, that it happens.
We could be on the phone with you, talking to you and say, I can see it running right now.
Yep.
It's at this gallons, all the way down. The other thing that we were talking about is that, the consumer will actually have, the customer will
Yes.
actually have the ability to go on an app or go online and be able to see their own stuff as well.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So, they can be out of town, they can look it up and be like, okay, we have an issue.
Or they get their bill and they're like, I didn't use that much all month, and they
Yep.
can look and see where their high days were and that
Yep.
kind of stuff.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Yep.
That's
Got it.
good.
So I will proceed and bring that information back at the next meeting.
Right. Anything else? Okay, item 14, discussion possible action. Review invoice for touchscreen purchase for well number 3 security system.
So back in October?
Yep.
October, we were.
Is that for this year?
Last year, 2023. In October of 2023, we were notified that our well number 3 was not reporting.
It was not communicating with the
communicate-
building.
Right. And so we had B&M Technical Services come out. They looked at the panel, they couldn't fix it on site. So they went back, they were gonna get us a new cable to help fix the
So
panel.
there's the panel communicates with X over here, and X is outdated and not compatible with Y. There's
here.
another middleman,
Yep.
okay? So they were gonna make a cable that would cut out the middleman and make this panel work with our system, okay? Outdated technology,
Mhm.
that is the oldest panel we have there, is actually that building.
That building, well, 3.
So, to get the Allen Bradley to work with what they have, they're recommending we replace the panel itself,
Correct.
rather than trying to,
Do this route around.
yes,
And will eliminate that one side panel?
it'll eliminate all of that.
All of it.
Yes. It'll actually, it might even give us more options of things to do on our current panel.
And that is for this year's budget?
This will be,
Yes.
and this year was not an approved expense for this year, but the cost came in at $5,691, and that's
Yeah.
above my approval authority.
So what we need to do is, we
5,500.
need, if we're gonna
5,691.
recommend it, we need to push it through to the town board for approval
Correct.
with a recommendation.
Okay. The security, is that to prevent people from going in? What does it cover? Just
So
intrusions?
I can still communicate with the building
Mhm.
from my
Through
computer,
SCADA.
through
Yep.
SCADA.
Yeah.
But I can't arm the building. So
Okay.
we're under lock and key right now, and lock the gates and close all that stuff up and,
You're still gonna keep the doors locked. and
Correct.
everything,
Absolutely.
But now you
Correct.
can see if somebody gets past all of that,
correct,
sneaks in and does whatever they wanna do.
correct.
Correct.
Alert authorities, whatnot, that's all that stuff, yes,
Yeah, it's needed.
yes.
Mhm.
And 3 is where?
It's on site.
On-site,
It's on
leisure,
site.
it's at the top of
Yeah.
the hill up there.
Don't-
Yeah.
I can remember Rippon's Wells, yeah. I don't know
It's the
these
larger of
wells.
the two well buildings.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll recommend
So one with the
that,
bad roof.
Yes, the one with the bad roof.
I'll recommend that we approach the town board with a approval for the
Make a
purchase.
recommendation to approve.
Correct.
I second it.
Any other discussion? Any other questions, Dan?
Recommending for.
$5,691.
So 57. Oh.
Yep.
And the funds should be available in the
Yes.
2004 budget, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that'll be one question that somebody will ask. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Pass. Item 15, discussion only. insert for advertising members for utility committee.
So the last time we met, Dan had brought this up and asked it be put on the agenda to discuss, and I don't know how we wanna proceed with that now.
Prior to your arrival,
Yeah.
the chairperson came in and was suggesting that we may want to look at widening the scope of recruitment for the utility committee and not just necessarily going after Camelot people, because the utility committee itself scope has changed from the commission.
Okay. I was on the original
Water commission.
Water Commission, okay? When Wayne Johnson came in, he wanted to get his hands on the Water Commission,
We understand the,
okay? As
Background.
it was set up, and if I remember correctly, I don't remember everything correctly because I forgot the meeting, it was gonna be a board member,
oh, here, I'll pass these down.
a non-board member, a non-utility meter, and 3 people from the utility. It was set up because the people, the street people that are there had the most, had the most effect of this. And therefore, it should be to protect the people who buy the water and stuff, it was set up that way. And we were promised that at that time. And then when they moved it over, I wasn't part of the move over, but I guess it was passed by the board that it would be set up that way.
If you look at the item A, creation of membership,
This is
on
as is.
the handout.
That's the ordinance.
This is as the code stands now. This is the town code.
What number?
Item A,
Yeah.
and it's exactly, excuse me, exactly what you were saying. 5 members, 3 adult residents of the town where curbside service of utility is available, 1 adult resident in the area of town where the curbside is not available, and 1 member from the town board. And what she said was, that was all well and good, but the utility committee is taking on different tasks than just the water utility. It was weighing in on the antennas, it was weighing in on
What
the
antenna?
gas expansion. It's gone beyond just the water,
Okay, so,
Cellular
it's
tower.
gone beyond water.
yeah, but this committee really had no effect on the gas expansion. We talked about it, we did support the gas company when they wanted to convince everybody to do it, but we had no effect on it, okay? And when the decision was made to come up with money from the town to make the thing happen, it was never discussed in this this group. It was
Yes, it was.
passed by the board.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't discussed before, it was discussed after, okay? We do everything after. You know, we have really no authority to do anything. I really think what we should do is if we're gonna run, the water utility is a several $1,000,000
Business,
business. It should be run as a business, with the
it is
town.
being run as a business.
Yeah, but by the town board, not by this committee,
That is correct.
okay? And we should run it as a business with a committee that's set up to really watch the business and make it a very professionally run business.
But, so it sounds like you wanna change it from a committee back to a commission.
It wouldn't hurt. And have a committee to do the other stuff. Wasting time, say, oh, that looks neat, let's see what the maps look like, when you have no authority. It just isn't it.
Well, if you look at how committees are set up, they all, with one exception, which is police and fire, are making recommendations to the board. They have no authority. None of the committees have authority.
Okay,
Just like police and fire.
They all
the only other
report
commission.
to the board.
How many commissions are there reporting to the town board?
I don't know, a handful.
And so
Yeah,
more than
I mean,
the
even
police
the,
and
even the
fire?
plan commission has to go and make recommendations to the town board.
Yes.
The only one that doesn't is police and fire for firing and hiring a chief.
I was against moving it and against this in the beginning, okay?
Okay.
There was only one person that was in favor of this in the beginning, that was Wayne Johnson. We had Wayne Johnson, we had one member that was not a curb stop, and the rest of us were curb stop. So we're 3, 4, I don't know what the other gentleman did, but Wayne took it over and he forced it through. And I think that was the worst decision he could make. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to get it over so the town could take over the utility. Okay? The town picked up $1 million worth of assets for a $1 payment so that we could take the loans out. That was really good and it was important.
Yes.
But you got $1 million business, multi-million-dollar business, and it's not being run as $1 million business. So you know,
I guess I would
giving you
take
my
issue with
opinion.
that statement. No, I understand. I would think it is being run by a business, but this committee does not have authority. That's your point, if I
That's-
understand correctly.
Well, yeah, but we don't do anything. We look at looked at the minutes. Yeah, those are good. Motion to approve, well, but we don't approve, we don't do anything. We ask a lot of questions.
Everything has to go back to the town board.
It goes back to the town board.
That is correct.
And if you're gonna do this and put other people on and have very little representation from the curb stop members, I think that's wrong.
Okay. I understand. That's why it's on here for discussion.
Okay. And if that's the case, that's good. A good soldier listens to the boss's orders, and if they say do it, you do it, or you resign, okay?
The question is, I guess she was asking the question today because we had recruited last year, a couple times.
We didn't recruit, we asked.
Not towards the end of the year, but previously, I think she said there was a
were
recruitment effort.
Newspaper ads or something, I thought, yeah.
And it was on the town website.
Right,
And then,
and nothing happened.
and in the
So-
last few months, Jamie had asked
She was
members to
speculating that possibly if we widen the scope of membership to the whole town, there might be people that were interested.
But then
You're yes, I understand, you're diluting the curb stop issue.
to the curb stop.
But none of them wanna participate.
We haven't addressed, yes, we do the thing, but if we never put things in the mail or with your bills or something to go right to the curb stop people,
Ah, okay.
okay?
The bill insert.
The bill insert and to really make a major effort to do that. I've asked a couple neighbors and they're not here all the time, to do that and stuff. And you gotta find somebody who's,
That's one of the problems with committee participation, is finding people that are willing to dedicate the time and effort to actually serve.
Aren't, lack of better term, snowbirds and stuff, yeah.
Well, and it's kind of hard to run a committee if they're not here.
well, it's true. But, they don't, a lot of them might step up if you let them know. Unless we get these people, we're gonna have to populate the committee with non-curb stop members, thus diluting the influence of the curb stop.
I can see addressing, and there was, is that the next item?
We're on the
Insert.
item of insert for
Oh,
advertising.
that is the item,
yeah.
right. I can see that to maybe hold back a little bit. And like we said, that bill insert will hit the bullseye of the people,
Yeah.
But if there's not enough response from there, then I think it needs to be looked at.
Okay, but the bill insert has gotta tell them why we need some people. That if you don't step up, you're gonna lose some of the authority.
I can see that.
You know.
What am I trying to say? okay, here it is, folks. This is the situation. Okay, if we don't get the people to step up, then we'll be looking at
Yes,
This.
yeah, but you gotta really
Right.
hit them on the head.
kind of 1, 2, 3.
Why it's important that we get these people. Okay? Otherwise, you're gonna, all the curb stop people are gonna lose their representation.
At their own fault.
At their own fault, yes.
Do we have a cost for this?
Bill insert?
Do we have a draft or anything?
Somebody drafts something up, all we do is put it on a piece of paper and put it in, it's not,
There's not a big,
not a big cost.
It would go out with,
The
in-
March
as a,
billing if we do it, because the January's already out.
do you wanna draft something up
Sure.
for our next meeting?
we need to do one in February then, probably?
I would think.
Yep, so that we can, what's our timeline to make the March billing?
Oh, by the middle of March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't,
So
I
can
don't
we
need to
early
start
February, we'd
get
have
'em
something
yeah,
ready?
Yeah,
Okay,
we could meet in March, early March, and we'd be fine.
okay.
All right, why don't we do that then? Draft what you wanna, what you want it to look like, and let's review it for the next meeting.
I can appreciate that,
I understand where he's
making the
coming from.
attempt and that, but if response, and we should also figure out a timeline for the response.
Well, yeah, they would have to commit.
Right, I'm thinking
But we
where,
would
you
ask
know,
for
okay,
Get the
Response
bills
by-
until mid-March,
They'll get them mid-April.
mid-April.
Yeah,
Mid-April.
So we're
So by,
looking at July,
Mid-April
August,
before
before,
making a change?
yeah.
Okay, alrighty. And
No,
that's
it might
fine,
be
just,
September, we gotta see what's happening.
yep,
Let's start with the draft.
okay.
And I might be up by then.
You might, pardon?
My term might be up by then.
Your term does expire at the end of
April, doesn't it?
April.
Yeah, yours does.
Mine does, okay.
But you just send them a letter and say, no.
Any other discussion on that one? Okay, we'll start with the draft at the next meeting.
Insert draft, yep.
Item 16, discussion only, payment in lieu overview presented by Supervisor Capel. I have a handout that I think Dan already has, that I pulled right off of a combination of state statutes and the,
You have one, Dan?
I don't remember, like I said, I apologize, I wasn't,
that's okay.
there's a couple of them. Here, have one.
It's the state statutes, and it was actually I got this out of the Public Service Commission that talks about what a pilot is and the authority that it's granted under. And in essence, what the water utility is paying for the use of town services. That's what it amounts to. And it's in lieu of a property tax bill.
Correct.
So it's based on their assets, if I understand correctly. Do you know how to calculate it?
I do not, our auditors calculate it for us every
They
year.
do calculate it, okay.
Yeah, it's part of the PSC statement, once we file our audit, then it shows up on the PSC statement, that's where I pull it from.
Okay, so it's getting approved at the level of the PSC
Yes,
and then it goes into the budget for the following year.
correct.
Okay.
Payments are made quarterly.
I don't know if you have any other questions about it. I'm not an authority on it, I just went and started reading.
So in a nutshell,
We don't have a choice. It's something that the Public
Regulated.
Service Commission granted. There was a study that was done a couple years ago, looking at, our water utilities being overcharged and something like that, and they came to the conclusion that, it's all over the board. That's what, basically, that was their statement.
But does this, there's.
It's
water
something that you
utilities
can't not-
that aren't owned by the town, and this water utility is owned by the town and governed by the town.
And that it's municipal water utilities that a pilot is approved for.
Okay,
So it's town water utility. Yeah, that's what a pilot is for. It actually, any water utility, whether it's public or private, it would be tax exempt, but they would all pay a pilot to the municipality in which they're located. So it doesn't make any difference whether you're public or private.
Okay.
You pay a pilot.
And that's in lieu of.
But
sales tax
ours
or
falls
property?
under chapter 66, which is the chapter that deals with towns and cities,
Okay.
okay?
And the taxes here are sales, property, both?
The taxes are property, based
Okay.
on, it's based on your property tax, it's in lieu of paying property tax, because a
Okay.
water utility is tax exempt.
That's what, okay, so,
And it's like now, she's gonna come under the, IT system with the town. There's no additional charge for that to the water utility, cause they're paying the pilot, so.
Is, you know, I can't argue with this, okay? My question is, if I owned a, let's just say that we have $1 million in assets, okay? And if I had $1 million home, would my payment in lieu be equal to the $1 million home? Or is it more, is it less?
It's based on the tax rate,
Right,
which is the
right.
same as the home.
Yes.
It's
Same as
this,
the home.
it's the tax rate that is the basis for doing the pilot.
Okay, then that says.
It's the same.
Although I don't like it, it's fair.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's an equal issue.
Okay,
It is the,
but
it is the
We
tax.
don't pay the school tax? This doesn't,
It does not.
okay, and it doesn't pay the county tax or the state tax?
Does not.
None of that?
It all goes to the municipality.
Okay, so therefore, if we.
You're actually getting
same
slightly more,
value, The home would get taxed on.
you're getting slightly more than what you would if you were a home, because other taxing agencies are not getting the value.
So we're getting a better deal.
Yes.
so,
And that was the discussion that was happening in that study. If you click on, the pilot report at the bottom of the page,
Yeah.
you'll go and you can get the study and take a look at it.
Okay,
But it was the fact that all the utilities are collecting pilots, all the municipal utilities, water utilities are collecting pilots, but none of them are taking the tax part that would be schools and sending it on to them.
well,
They're all
that's
keeping.
reasonable. We don't have any kids in schools.
so the
I do.
physical change is the utility paid to the town of Rome, now they paid to the pilot?
No, no, no.
No, it
This
was
is,
the town.
something the utility was paying before,
Long time.
always,
Always.
as long as it's been here, correct?
That is correct.
They're, because they don't get property, they don't pay property taxes. This is in lieu, it's a payment in lieu of property
Or
taxes.
taxes on property tax expense? Okay,
No, it's a
Confused then, never
payment
mind.
in lieu of property taxes. That's what this is.
Okay, it's a payment in lieu of property tax, but we still pay the same rate to the municipality.
It's based on the tax
pays
rate.
Correct.
It's based on the local
No
tax
rate.
rate. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's,
okay.
that makes it palatable.
I'm glad.
Well, it, you know, it's
Well,
a question, why should we pay people?
Again, I'm not an expert. I just went and read what was in the state statutes and what was in the PSC, and that's as much as I know.
That's about all there is. It's real simple.
Any other questions on that?
No.
Right? Then item 17, discussion and possible action, Utilities Committee Goal Matrix. I believe that was on here because we
Just in
hadn't
case we
finished the
wanted to-
recruitment issue.
Right, yes, it was all.
So, based on the fact that we're still not finished with the recruitment issue, we'll leave
We'll
it, just
move it on.
move it forward.
Well, and I've got the old one here.
Mm-hmm.
Are there a one-stop date? Do you need a copy?
We were adding a
One
goal
A
3.
was review monthly, okay, which we did. 1B, review and provide input on RWU budget, we did. Yeah, I guess they're all, and I got handwritten in number 3, committee completion.
Goal number 3, complete committee advertising.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's standing as was, or do we
We'll just have
need
to bring
to?
it forward. to
Do we
the-
wanna, we probably would be looking at moving it to a 2024 goal matrix.
Right. And Robbie, do you know where this document is?
I have it, yes.
You have it?
Yep.
Okay.
Jamie
And do you
forwarded.
have the number 3 on there? Do you know, that's, okay. Yep.
Does that goal matrix really do anything?
It's
there a
just a
value
little,
to
it's
it?
an outline.
Is there's a value to it?
Well, it should focus the
Committee.
areas that the committee is supposed to participate in. So that would be the value of
And
it.
if there's some special items, they can be added.
Okay.
So it should be an ongoing document.
And maybe, I mean, we just looked at the capital improvement program this morning and made some additions, so I think there is some value to it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Date of the next meeting. Want to keep it on Mondays, I'm assuming?
What?
Next
Keep
meeting
it on
date?
Mondays?
Yeah, I
I
didn't,
did- Not a
I
problem.
just got back to my house at
Yep.
9:45.
Oh, and you don't have your computer, right?
And I don't have I don't have anything. I just
Okay.
brought my stuff in from the truck so it didn't freeze.
We had been meeting, what, at the first week? The first Monday?
First
Of the
Monday of the
month?
month?
First Monday of February would be February
Fifth.
5th.
I have auditors, so I won't be able to attend. The
You,
auditors will be
well,
on site.
if you're not able to attend, we can't. Monday, the 12th.
As far as I know,
Not an issue for me.
10
I
o'clock.
just
10
have
o'clock?
to, we just have to verify this room. I don't have access like Jamie used to.
10
Run out.
pending, so
Run
next
out
meeting
and
would be
ask, do somebody
February,
verify?
Can you verify if this room?
February 12th at 10 a.m. in this location,
Yep.
pending the availability of the room. If there's no other items, we'll adjourn the meeting. Oop.
10 a.m., but 9 a.m. or?
10 o'clock.
10 a.m.?
10 works better.
Yeah.
If it works, does that work
I
for you?
didn't know.
I could make 9 a.m. if I remember.
I'm just asking if it, does it help you guys to
Doesn't either way.
get
I
started?
can do
It's up
better,
to
I can make 9, if you'd like to move it up an hour.
I don't care.
We just have to verify the availability of the room, cause I know
Well,
sometimes
yeah,
we
there-
back up on the other.
There was
meetings
nobody
or-
here, usually on a Monday, there's not,
9
but,
a.m.?
9 o'clock?
Yeah,
Okay.
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock, February 12th.
and Robbie, you'll verify this and send us out an email, so.
Correct.
Thank you.
Then the meeting's adjourned
So he
at-
can verify the 12th is open on his calendar.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll do my best to rearrange it. I don't
Okay.
know of anything going. Only thing that's screwed up is I got a doctor's appointment someplace.
Right, yeah, and if that happens, just let us know and we'll make arrangements. We'll adjourn the meeting at 11:23.
Make a motion to adjourn?
No, don't need one.
Don't need to
We're
do
adjourned.
that?
No,
Adjourn. That's it.
See,
No
that's
motions
why
on
you're
that
the-
one.
It was
How
a-
about 9 a.m.?
It was a formality.
Police and
that they-
fire at
they
9.
got rid of.
Oh, police and fire at 9.
So
Police
11
and fire at 9?
at 9.
Okay.
11?
So 11 is, 11 to the end of the day is open still.
That's hard on Bill
That
then.
creates problem.
what about moving it a week?
The
The
19th?
19th,
19th will work.
is that open at 9? Let's go look.
We'll send one of you out, otherwise I get lost.
What was the date again?
19th at 9.
19th, a Monday.
Thank you.
That works.
19th
Okay,
at 9
19th
is
at 9 will
9
be
a.m.
next date.
perfect, thank you, Jeff.
So we'll actually adjourn at 11:24.